Hello, everybody. I'm Honey, aka Honey and Dice, and I will be your keeper for this evening. Welcome to Clockwork Vines Group 1. I think I can reveal now the name of this group is Whisper Gardens. Dun dun dun.
Oh, we
On
got
Monday,
a name.
I know.
on Monday we have Astromeria Alley. So
Did they find out their name before we found out our name?
They did, didn't
Yeah, they did, did they?
It matters.
Oh, wow.
they? Did they guess it? I bet they guessed it.
Wow.
I feel betrayed.
I feel hurt.
well,
We
no,
spend a lot of time doing things we shouldn't, though.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So
That is TTRPG though.
yeah, this
Oh,
is the
Velvet.
wonderful cast that we have
Love it,
on
This is the way.
Sunday. It just never came up. And I was just doing group 1, group 2, group 1, group 2. Oh, snap. I should probably tell them what the name of their campaign section is.
You would try to
Any-
respect, the secrecy of the DM,
Yeah.
But it's fine if group 2 didn't,
Anyways, this is episode 3. So we are very, very excited to continue this amazing story in this botanical steamwork punk world. If it's your first time tuning in, we are using Call of Cthulhu / basic role-playing mechanics. It's hybrid. I pulled my favorite things from both. We are not using the sanity mechanics component of Call of Cthulhu just because the way that they handle some very sensitive topics and issues is a little bit irresponsible and really not something that I would like to wrangle through with the player group. So, and apparently I don't need, sanity checks when it comes to my descriptions because they're creepy enough. So what that is, we're going to go through, everybody's going to introduce themselves briefly and who they're playing. And then we'll have a fun little recap and get into this evening's episode of Clockwork Vines. And we will start with Noir, aka Sai.
Hello, I am Noir Enigma. You can call me Noir. I'm Noir Enigma on all the socials. Today I'll be playing Sai Zalway, an accomplished author in this crazy kooky world. He is in fact published. Uh, so that's what you really need to know about him. Oh, also, um, Highlander. We got that going too.
Alrighty then. Continuing on, we're gonna go ahead to Asmodus, aka Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul. You can find me on Twitter as Paul_Kiter. I am playing as Modus, one of the scientists in the group who is very interested in the strange object that we found in the sky last episode.
And now we'll move over to Ryan, aka Samuel. I keep switching this out just to keep people on their toes.
Hey, I'm Ryan. Sphinx Roll on Twitch. Sphinx Roll on Twitter. I'm playing Samuel, the chemist in the party who came to the realization last session that he's the only one in this party without a gun. So there's that.
Alrighty then. Rowan, aka Sim.
Hello, I am Rowan, they, them. I will be playing Sim Valentine tonight and for the foreseeable future. I would like to point out that my 8-year-old son also does not have a gun. So, Samuel's not the only one. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as that other nerd 5.
Velvet, aka Desdemona.
Hey y'all, I'm Velvet, Fair. You can find me on the interwebs pretty much everywhere as OG Brown Sugar, as well as the Stories of a Broken Sun and Flight Risk podcasts. I play your friendly neighborhood Amazonian Van Helsing, Desdemona.
And last but certainly not least, my precious baby Bella, aka Cassiopeia.
Hi, I'm Honey's favorite player, Bella. Ella, she has no bias, but I am her favorite. And I will be playing Honey's least favorite character, Cassiopeia. She is Cassiopeia the Con, aka CTC. She is currently just up to tomfoolery, and I dress the part because I'm ready to ruin lives once again.
Oh boy. And with that, just perfect on point introduction ending. Let's have a quick recap from our note takers and get into tonight's episode.
All right. On our journey to the Moss Meadow Estates, we ended up taking these carriages, which are being pulled by some sort of clockwork carousel type horse, as we found out that the train just doesn't go all the way there. So that's cool. We were attacked or had some less than fortunate encounters with a couple different kinds of plants, including one that left a mark on Cassiopeia that appears to be growing from the back of her neck. Along our journey, we began to experience some thunder-like whispering rumbling coming from beneath the ground. And were quickly waylaid by a collapsing tree and some large object sticking out of the ground, which stopped our carriages, which we very quickly found out was a large metallic snake-like creature that we had to defeat in combat. Cassiopeia and Sai had their own little side thing going on. And we managed to defeat the metallic snake. For my only to have my son Cal explain to us that the stars are wrong, that there's an extra one in the sky, and that he first noticed it in his dreams. So I'm gonna need Honey to explain that immediately. Um,
Starting the game, making demands from the keeper. I like it. Bold move.
you don't fuck with my son.
And with that, we'll get into tonight's episode. So, if this was a television show or movie, this would be where the camera panned in and everyone kind of huddled and gathered around this one carriage, the one that sustained less damage, as they were connecting various extra carousel horses to it and considering, grouping the party together as opposed to going into two separate carriages. Um, Everyone is gathered towards the back of this second carriage because baby boy Cal apparently had a revelation. As he was sitting back there staring at the sky. It's early evening where the stars start to peek out. The weather in general, the best description for the weather is just mucky and gray. There's no rain, there's no clouds, but it's mucky, it's gray, the stars are starting to show. There's more stars than they should be. And so on this beautiful cliffhanger, um, Cal just looks up, looks at everyone, and withdraws in that way that a child does when too much attention is on them about something, um, and just looks from person to person as if they just said, "Of course, like I saw him last week. Just saw it in my dreams." Um, as Marty just scratches his head and says, "I Okay, so there were vines coming out the ground that were metallic that tried to kill us. The forest apparently is trying to kill us. There's underground monsters. My son is seeing things in his dreams, but I really don't want to stay back here to discover what that is or how that's working because for all we know, a mutant, caterpillar might drop out of a tree and, explode."
To be fair, we haven't had any animal creatures, mostly just plants. So I'm just spitballing out here. I'm gonna get in the carriage. Cass is gonna look up on his face, see that maybe he's not having it today, and run to the carriage like a little girl in trouble.
Can we get these moving? One of the smarter people will have to. If you need me to move something, I can do that, but someone get this moving.
Yeah, whereas worked with one of the brains over there, and we're like, yeah, they automatically go if there's nothing obstructing their way. So if we move the first carriage out the way, and then hook the second set of horses to this set of horses, so we have four and we can go faster, that might work. It'd just be a little bit more cramped.
Okay.
And then Cal just sort of stands up, brushes the mud off of his pants from where he had been hiding in multiple places during this whole thing, holds up this little notebook and his pencil, and he's like, "Can I ride on top of the
No.
carriage?" Oh, okay. Just like,
Oh, Cal, we need to have a conversation.
I'm gonna go in the carriage with Cassiopeia and do some more math. He just climbs up in the carriage.
And I do that cute thing where when the carriage is a little bit too tall, she just like gives them a little hoist, like and up doo doo. And then as she left, she looks at them and they're like, "I'm still allowed to like touch him. Like I'm allowed to." Okay, cool. And I help him in the carriage, and then I go right next to him and go, "Okay, are we playing games or math? Because I'm cool with either."
I was just kind of fibbing because I don't want to talk to them about my dreams because I think it's gonna freak grown-ups up, out.
Okay, do you want to tell me? Because I always knew you were special.
I don't really know. Like, I think if I told you that my dads would know, and then you would say something and we couldn't talk anymore.
That's a good point. What if I promise that I won't tell them and then I'll pretend that I found out when they found out? I promise I'm a good liar. And then she has a long pause because she remembers all of the times where she's been caught not doing a great job of lying and goes, I'm usually a really good liar.
Okay, I'm gonna have you do something. You can give me a bargain or a persuade.
Oh, yes! I was hoping you would ask me. Yay, okay. God bless you, honey. See, as I said, favorite player. Anyways,
so while
I'm
you're
gonna
doing
do
that, roll it and record the results for you. Can come back to this carriage scene in a second. Everyone else, what are you doing outside of the carriage?
I'm just leaning over to Desdemona and I go, there's something with the child. The child knows things. What does that mean? What is he a goblin? Is he another Highlander? What is this?
Goblin charges have been dismissed. The salt would have dispelled the glamour. And you are Highlander. There can only be one.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn to Sam and Marty and be like, you were right to warn him not to ride on top of the carriage. Now that the witches know he is one of them, they might have scooped him up.
It's a witch. The child's a witch.
I walk forward and I put one hand on Desdemona's shoulder and one hand on Sai's shoulder, and I say, "This has been a very stressful couple of hours, and I am worried for the safety and healthiness of my son. So, if either of you touch him, I will kill you."
Why do we touch the child? Is like bird falling from nest, and you would never take it back.
I don't understand.
It makes perfect sense.
Just leave my kid alone. That's all I'm saying.
No one's interested in touching your witch child.
Marty walks past and is just looking at everyone as he's carrying some of the like the bridles and some of the leather pieces from the previous carriage. Pauses, looks between Sim and then the Wonder Twins, and then back at Sim, and then back at the Wonder Twins. Is like, okay, did you handle this? Like, is this handled? Or do I have to? Okay, all right. It then passes by the scientists and it's like, we've got to connect this to them, and then we're going to need probably two drivers at the same time because he pauses. I'm going to say this word and it's going to sound like I'm trying to be funny, but like nothing is funny right now. But the horsepower that it's going to come from this is going to be stronger than before. So we're going to probably need two people that are a little bit stronger to keep them in line here. He looks between the scientists because they seem right now to be, outside of his husband, the only two people not considering like what fantasy creature his child might be.
I mean, might be. I think it's.
I mean, we're past fantasy creatures. We just beat up a fantasy creature.
I think it's pretty firmly established that this child is a witch.
Vespodia, Samuel, what's going on there?
Yeah, there's no way to tell how much of a kick this will be. I'm not really that familiar with how much power these horses have, but yeah.
You could do me. Oh, I think you have a mechanical skill.
I have mechanical repair.
Hmm. You know what? Instead, just give me a no roll because you and Asmodus had kind of been examining how these things work. So both of you can give me a no roll to see if your educational experience will help you.
Oop, that was a 98.
Okay, so you're stumped. All of the stuff going on is really like you should know, but there's something blocking it right now. Asmodus, how did you do that?
I got a 45 out of 65.
Okay, so you were actually working with Marty quite a bit during this whole kerfuffle. So, yeah, you know that it's going to take two people as opposed to one to while the automaton, so to speak, go in the direction automatically, they still need the faint steering to make sure they don't run into obstacles and stop. So it's going to take two people who are slightly stronger to keep those reins in check along the path because they're going to go faster and pull a lot stronger once they are combined.
Okay. Let's see. Believe coming out it was Sim and Samuel who were driving the carriages.
Mhm.
So unless there's other people, it probably makes sense for the two of them to continue to drive if they want.
Okay.
I
I
have no
need to have a
problem with it.
conversation with my son.
Before he has a conversation, can I tell you my role?
Yes.
Okay, can I do fast talk or should I do bargain?
It depends on what you're trying to do. If you bargain, you're offering something in return. Fast talk, you're just trying to fast talk him to convince him to do something.
Okay, I'm gonna fast talk, and it's a 21 out of 75.
Okay.
You see, Cal, here's the thing, Cal. Here's my thing. Is I'm not really a grown-up if you think about it. Let's be real. Let's look at all the other people. They go to school, they're intelligent, they have a full child, that's you. They're even published. Size published. What do I have? Nothing. I'm a street urchin. There's like no real what am I gonna do? Nothing. I am powerless and weak, and I just like information. And you and I have something in common. We both like chipmunks, right? Maybe, I don't know. You seem like a very school smart kid. I'm a very street smart girl. Combine us, we are like one brain. I don't, you know? You should just tell me, because for once I would like to know things before everyone else. I'm always the last one to know everything. Everything. How's that possible? I'm there.
Cal just holds up a hand. Okay. Just if I tell you a secret, will you stop trying to convince me that we're somehow related?
Yes.
Okay. Cal looks to the right, looks to the left.
Cass doesn't know what she's supposed to do, so she also looks to the right, looks to the left.
Reaches into his little pack and pulls out this small seed, like a copper seed looking thing that somebody might just think is a rock, but it has a little bit of a glint to it. And he says, okay. So like I found this on the train and I was like, look, it's a rock. And my dad's like, okay, that's nice because, that's what happens. And I put it in my bag. And then when I went to sleep, I had a dream. And this is going to sound really weird. It's kind of like that one time that my one dad went out and then came back and was talking about the cats dancing on the table, but there were no cats. But in my dream, I saw like this beautiful butterfly. and it was floating in the sky. And then it was like things that are out of order need to be put in order. And then it turned into stars, and then those stars got stuck in the sky. And so it's kind of like what it looked like outside.
So you picked up the rock,
Mm-hmm.
had a dream about
Mm-hmm.
it after you picked up the rock, and there was a caterpillar, you said?
A butterfly.
A butterfly, and it said everything that is out of order needs to be put back in order.
Yeah.
And then the stars changed. He changed the butterfly changed the stars.
I guess so. I mean, it was a butterfly, and then it
What
was
did the
stars.
voice? What did the voice sound like, Cal?
I can't do voices.
That's fair. Neither can I. I mean, yes, I can. I'm a con. Anyways, thanks for telling me, Cal. And I think she does that. She doesn't. Once again, doesn't know how to bond with people, so she just goes, pat, pat, just pats him. I promise I won't tell anyone, and we're also super not related. I don't need to be related. It's fine. I don't have any family members, and it's not like I would care if I had one anyway.
Well,
Doesn't matter. So anyways, I won't tell anyone. And when you do, if you do want to tell your dads, which I think maybe you can, because I think Sim would be a little bit sad if you don't tell him, and he seems like a very understanding father, and Marty seems like he would beat up anyone who would uncut someone who would mess with you. So I think that they are trustworthy. You don't have to tell Sai though. If you don't want to tell Sai, you don't have to tell Sai. That could be between you, me, your dads. We can tell Asmodeus, Samuel. We can't tell Desmona because she'll tell Sai. You see the issue? So we could just keep it between like us 5. Yeah? Or 6? How many numbers is this? 5. Yes. Us 5, just keep it a secret. What I'm trying to say is you can tell your dads it whenever you feel like it's a good idea. But till that happens, I promise I'll keep your secret.
Cal just looks up for a moment, then looks down, looks back up. So, family isn't always who's related to you. Sometimes the family that you find is closer than the family that you're born into. At least that's what my dad say.
It's hard to find family when you're still a little lost.
We found you, so I think you're stuck with us now.
I think your dads are realizing that also. In this moment, does Rowan, Sid breaks into the door?
By this time, everyone is able to get into the carriage by this.
She forgets that she could still talk to Cal and jumps back. Oh wait, I can talk to him now. Yeah. Still a little nervous. Not that I was ever talking to him when I wasn't supposed to, because that's...
Marty just says, okay, just...
Yes, okay, cool.
Yeah, we've covered it.
And then I think she winks at Cal. She's like, and then acts and walks away. But doesn't make a big deal. Does that really subtle wink and then moves on.
Cal tries to wink back, but he cannot wink, so it's just a blink and an awkward grimace.
He's so cute.
And then just the most obvious face ever. Just looks between his dads. She didn't know her tens times table.
It's hard.
That's like the even I know that one.
But do they keep adding the 0, or does the number change? Is there a 0 always? But what if I feel like
No, there's always a 0.
Why is there another 0? I feel like there's already. I don't get it. She genuinely doesn't. This isn't a bit. She genuinely doesn't understand the 10 times tables.
And then eventually there's more zeros.
What? There's more zeros?
Yeah.
How many? Looks at Cal. Cal, how many zeros are there?
Cal just looks in with a deadpan face since everyone is gathered around, and because he is a child, he goes, there's an infinite amount of possibilities in this universe. Just like this. And then looks right down to his books.
Cass finds that answer really good. And so she looks also over and tries to do math with him. I imagine when they're doing math, she writes something and then he crosses it out and does another thing. It's just constant oh. No, oh, okay. What about that? Okay.
What's everyone doing? Who's getting in? What's happening?
Sim will get in and say, Samuel needs someone else to help drive, and I need to have a conversation with my son. So, someone volunteer.
I'll
It
help
wasn't.
drive the carriage.
Are you sure?
I don't want to be in the carriage with the witch.
So the witch is dangerous.
Of course, witch is dangerous. Why would you call them witches? Otherwise, they would just be old women.
So
who
what do
live
we
in
do with
gingerbread
the?
houses.
So what do we do about the witch then?
Well, it's not full-grown witch. You just avoid it and hope we can leave before it grows up.
Okay.
As
I
you
will
all are
also join.
as you were as you are speaking, all of a sudden Marty is there, and he says, if you respell the word witch and replace the W with a B, I don't know much about the WITCH, but I am 100% the BITCH, so I'm going to need you to stop talking about my son like he is some type of alien.
Oh, I thought they were referring to me. And they were trying not to say the B one you were referring to because they were trying to be polite. But now they think about it, they're not super
Cat-
polite, so that
This-
doesn't really.
This
Cassio-
man just insulted himself. He called himself a bitch. I don't understand.
Diagnosis this. I realize there's an infinite number of zeros. Did you? Because you didn't go to school either. Did you know that? Is this something like that's common knowledge or like? And she turns to scientists who fully went to school. Did you guys know that it just keeps going?
I'm not in the carriage.
So you've got Desdemona.
I just osmosis. I'm fully just talking osmosis.
That's fascinating.
Did you know though?
Maybe you're the only one.
That seems to be mostly the case. Okay. Anyways, Noir, tell us about not Noir.
Who's that?
Sai, I'm so sorry.
Who's this Noir?
Your name isn't changed. Sai, tell us about your publishing and less about the witch, more about the publishing. Because sometimes when we talk less about the witch and more about the publishing, no one gets cut.
Well, my first trilogy was about witches.
I'm gonna jump Sai. I'm just kidding.
You need to stop saying the word witches. It summons them.
Well, there's one already here.
Desmona, didn't you said you were gonna ride the carrot? You should go ride the. Let's start moving. Shall we go?
Marty is just throws up his hands and says, walks back into the carriage, looks at Sim. Family vacation, huh?
So am I supposed to call Marty a bitch now? Is that what that was about?
No, you're not. Sim is the most steely faced you've ever seen him.
This entire family is weird.
I don't understand why he is so opposed to witch and then refers to himself as female dog. That makes no sense to me.
Is Marty the familiar? Like, because in my stories, witches have like cats and things. Is Marty a dog?
Desdemona, you seem like a great person to get a drink with sometime, but while you're here, you're just gonna keep egging him on. And I need that to not happen right now, because I need to have a serious conversation. Please go help drive.
I'll take Sai with me to help drive. I'll explain along the way.
Okay.
He might be familiar, but he cannot be that witch's familiar because witch has to come before familiar, and Marty is clearly older than Kai.
Do witches play with the witches have experience time the same way that normal people do? Perhaps there's there's chronology fuckery about.
That is too much. That is realm of science fiction.
right.
Witches live long, but they are not chronomancers.
You're right. I just don't understand why Marty would tell me that he's a bitch. Is that slang of some sort? I've traveled the world and not once have I ever come across this. I think I could make it work though. I think
Saj is gonna wake up one day and there's gonna be a knife at his throat. And he's gonna be like, "I told you, I am 100%." Like,
It's
but
gonna be carved into his headboard.
I think I have a working title for my next story: Bad Witches and Bitches.
It's like that Key and Peele skit. I said, bitch.
I said, bitch.
And that's a good thing that Cass is the main character. What up?
yeah, oh my god. Okay, so we've got Desdemona, Sai, and Samuel that are going to be working on driving the carriage somehow. And Sam, you're going to have a conversation with your son in the carriage. So in the carriage, we have Asmodeus, Cassiopeia, Sim, Marty, and Cal. And driving, we have is Sai like sitting on Desdemona's lap? Like, how is this working?
I can
There's,
let
like-
Saya help drive.
Okay, so Sam is gonna just ride.
Yeah, before I get in, I want to take another look at that plant creature where Desmond hacked the head off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get a good look at it so I can remember what it looks like before I hop in.
I mean, I kept the head. You can
Yeah.
borrow it for a while, but I need it back.
Desdemona has the head
That'd be
part
good.
of it. It
That'd be
looked
good.
like a flowering vine made completely out of copper.
I'm gonna make a hat out of it.
Okay. So,
I should probably also mention that I have no ranks in ride or
not ride. This
carriage.
is drive carriage. Yep,
Yeah,
this
I
is
don't
going to be-
have anything in that.
So yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Okay, I got this. I had dire horses on my carriage into Homeland.
I usually have people drive me about, so this is a nice change of pace. I get to see what the pores are like.
Oh my God.
I would like to say on record, he is so lucky I'm not there. He's so lucky I can't hear this.
Marty at this point is just kind of like, you see Marty there, and Marty seems pretty unassuming most of the time. And then like 1 second there's nothing in his hands, and the next second there's like this slim dagger has slipped out of his sleeve and is in his hand, and he's just twirling it as he just watches the drivers from behind. This look of almost scary concentration, but Sim would know it's him concentrating on not snapping. And the knife is probably therapeutic as he just twirls it in this very professional way, like it's over the fingers, back and forth. Just hourglasses, just watching the backs of Desdemona and Sai's head as they just
It would be so easy, but also my kid is here.
yes.
I think Cass is trying to distract Cal and being like, so, 9s. Well, those seem hard.
So with this, we're gonna start off with a couple of rolls to see how bumpy this drive is. Then we're gonna just cut back to the conversation in the carriage. Then we're gonna cut back to this thing. And thankfully, the difficulty isn't as high as it could be because they automatically move. So what I need from both of you are effort checks first.
Effort. Where's that at?
It's next to strength.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm not too terrible at that. 23 out of 65, and like the hard success or whatever is 32. So
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you got that because I got an 85
Okay.
out of 65.
This isn't so hard. What do the common folks complain about?
And it's like somebody getting in a car and then turning it on and being like, "This isn't hard.
That's exactly what it is.
No steering, no anything. Just like, this is just
This
easy."
is fine.
All right. So with that, I need you both to roll drive carriage for me.
Okay, now this is where things get
What's my drive carriage at?
this is where things get a little fucky. Yeah, that's a 79. And mine is 20. So this is some more fucking good.
Drive carriage. Let's see.
That's the motive. That's the motive.
That's gonna be an 83 out of 75.
I love us.
They drive themselves.
It's like being in a. Okay, let me make a note of that.
Driving one-handed, the other's the shotgun, just like scanning for any other sort of monster.
I'm like hanging off the carriage somehow, like.
So the carriage starts with the jolt to just oof, all this horsepower, so to speak. And you feel that arm. I need you to make a stamina check for me, Desdemona, for the.
What's my
Just that's the
stamina
motor, or
at?
do I have to do it?
No, you're fine because you flexed on that holding on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wow, this roller just hates me. That's a 96.
Oh my god.
Right? 85, 83, 96.
Yeah, so-
this is karma, I guess.
Yeah, so you feel that. You don't take any damage, but your arms are tired and shaking with the force that these horses take off with. So you're gonna take down your stamina points by 2.
Ooh.
Where's my stamina?
But here's where it gets interesting. As you both do your best to steer this carriage as the horses just start going full speed, everyone else in the wagon, you're it's like riding with someone who just got their learner's permit. It's just, and they have no natural driving skill. You're just swerving one way and then swerving the other way, and then it stops all of a sudden, then it starts again, and then it's just a very bumpy, jolty.
I think I'm starting to get it.
Please keep arms and legs in carriage at all times. I am taking serpentine maneuvers to distract subterraneans.
That's what we're doing.
Oh my goodness. All right, so in the carriage, as everything's rattling around, Marty has put the knife away because he's mainly holding on to Cal, so Cal doesn't fly from one side of the carriage to the other. Cal's kind of half wrapped around his head, like, why couldn't Dad join? Because we've got to have a family discussion. Like, he's holding on in there.
We're torturing this fucking family.
Can I say that when we had a jolt, I with my more, let's call it top heaviness,
Your blessings continue.
My blessings, yes, fell forward onto Osmodeus. Like I fell on top and then I went, oh, wrong scientist. Hello. And I think she just like covers herself in shame and is like, and then turns to Marty because she doesn't want to be missing. I didn't mean to fall on him. That one, at least.
Marty, I wasn't curious.
Okay, I just thought I should clarify because I know that sometimes it seems like I'm trying to get on. I'm not okay. And then she's like, Cal, you believe me, right?
Cal is like, why are they trying to kill us?
She's fully like getting smacked in the face with her own, and she's like, I don't know.
Okay. So, this is the chaos going on inside. We'll get some more rolls in a second here as you make your way through this forest. And was there anything anyone else wanted to do before the conversation?
Does Asmodeus have a way to view that star?
If you look out the back of the wagon, like towards no, because you're going through the forest and you're going deeper into it. So the canopy is getting thicker the further you go in.
Okay.
But you do notice, before everything started to get really bumpy, Cal passed you a piece of paper that looked like a night sky that he had sketched with the extra stars. It just kind of went like, there's too many, right? Before looking at his dad and sitting back down. And then the carriage took off and he started seeing his life flash before his eyes. So He's mainly just curled up in Marty's lap holding on for dear life.
It builds character.
Then while everything else is happening, I'll study that piece of paper
Okay.
to understand where everything is.
All right. And Samuel, what are you doing? Holding on for dear
Sam's
life?
Sam's mostly gone silent, almost like he doesn't care about the bumpy ride, and trying his best to record some things in his notebook.
Okay.
Like he looks like this doesn't bother.
Just that one person in the car that can sleep through everything. Doesn't
Did Paul just completely, not Paul, darn it. Asmodeus just completely ignored cast falling on him? Good for you. Okay, that's valid.
The scientists are pretty good at just being like, okay, this
Their
is
composure is legendary. They have not like.
All right. So
They have
Sam.
legendary resistance.
Yeah, to Cassiopeia. So Sam, you wanted to have a conversation. How does this begin?
Yeah. I would go over and pick up Cal and like
Mhm.
put him on my lap. So it's like hold him in place and hold an arm up top, just to keep us from dying. Apparently, and say, Cal, is your dad and I? We love you, and we just want to make sure that you're okay. What were you talking about when you said you saw the sky in your dreams first?
He just goes, I'm a kid, I see stuff.
I know, but normally the things you see become drawings or stories that you put down, not
Hmm.
actual events in the sky. And
Hmm.
with everything that's been going on lately, your dad and I are worried about you. And for your safety. If anything happened to you, then that would be our fault. It's our job to protect you. So if you can help us do that, then well, I'd really appreciate it.
He just kind of buries his head against your shoulder and just, it's half mumbled, but you learn to speak mumbled child after so many years of having one. And it's just mainly, I found a seed, I put it under my pillow, I went to sleep, I dreamed about a butterfly, it exploded into stars, and there was extra stars in the sky, and then I woke up.
What kind of seed?
It was on the train, and I picked it up because it looked like a rock, but now I think it looks like a seed, and it's in my bag, and I didn't tell you guys because I put all kinds of stuff in my bag that I don't. Well, I put no, I don't put anything in my bag that I don't tell you about.
No, of course not.
I just put that one thing in
hmm
there.
Can you take it out so some of our scientist friends here can look at that and maybe tell you some more about it?
I think I'm going to throw up because the thing keeps moving a whole bunch, but it's in the bag and I'll get it.
Okay. Well, I'll like lean him out the back.
It's like I thought.
Can I say, oh, I'll do it. I don't want, if it's moving or if it's dangerous, I want to do it. I don't want Cal to do it.
What?
Because then it's a kid, Kids are like delicate, I guess. Maybe. Are they delicate? Looks at the scientist. They're delicate, right? Children?
What? This is just so he doesn't throw up in the.
Oh, he's throwing up. I thought the seed was dangerous. Okay, never mind.
But he holds it together pretty good. I need another drive carriage roll from our wonderful drivers up there.
Let's go.
Wonderful drivers are wonderful
go.
drivers.
87 and it's 20. It's getting bumpier. Come on, Desdemona.
Hold on, I'm doing math. I also need classes.
I can tell you
Drive
right
carriage.
now, the zeros are infinite. That's what I can tell you.
You
right
can't have infinite of nothing. That makes no sense.
now.
Space is infinite nothing.
Oh shit.
Black holes, man.
That's a 73 out of 70.
Ooh.
They're going down though.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
almost out of the clear. You're almost out of the clear.
Mine are going up, so
We'll
I
be
got
in the
you.
middle.
I got
So the
your back.
carriage is still going because the horses are on automatic. At one point, you go off the road completely behind some trees, and then have to come back on it. There's a lot of bumpy stuff going on.
That's
At
classic misdirection, honey.
Yeah.
Serpentine evasive maneuvers.
They would want us to stick to the beaten path.
I mean, honestly, everybody in the carriage.
Who's
should
they?
thank us.
The subterraneans, the plants, the lichens. There's a lot of theys out there.
I mean, the Witcher.
Silly of me to ask.
Yes, Rowan, why do you even ask? Wild. Don't you know that Baze is everyone?
So at some point, the seed, I'm assuming, is going to come out of a cow's little bag. There's so much stuff in there, but they get the seed, and it's just this. Like, there's a salt shaker in there. There's all kinds of stuff that he has confiscated. From
Has he
different-
stolen any of Cass's things?
No, he just takes things that are interesting to him from places.
Sounds like a good cause.
Well,
Anyways,
so he has a little seed, and it is a bronze seed. It almost looks like a perfectly almond shaped seed. It's about the size of a pear, and it's a little bit heavier than it should be. And it's warm to the touch, but not hot.
Samuel Asmodeus, is this anything?
Damon's still looking down at his notebook. I don't even think he heard you.
I sort of like snap.
He's completely tuned out everybody.
I just put the seed on the notebook.
Yeah.
Right. So my son found this and put it under his pillow, and then he had a dream about the sky being different, and then the sky was different. And you and Asmodeus are smarter than the rest of us put together. So, what is it?
He looks at the seed. No clue, but I can take a closer look at it, I guess.
I would appreciate that.
So my scientisty experts, we're gonna do a mechanic that I call player bids. You tell me what you would like to roll from your sheet as part of your investigation of this seed. As a note, right now, if you try to investigate it, the difficulty is super high because you're in the equivalent of a taxi cab not a taxi cab, a tuk-tuk, and in very, very busy downtown Thailand. As you just like this. So you can choose to do the investigation now, or you can choose to do it when you get more settled. But you are having a very bumpy ride right now.
At this point, all Samuel can do is examine it physically. But I want to do more extensive tests when we're on more stable ground.
Okay.
So not really sure which one I want to use now. Mm,
Your player bid could also be an attribute if you wanted to do it like idea or no or something like that. But you tell me and we'll get it rolled. For people watching, I use a player mechanic called player bid, which means my players go to their sheet when they face a challenge or difficulty and then basically give me a bid of what skill they would like to use in order to overcome that particular difficulty. We roll it and then we weave it into the story. It's a mechanic that I use so that people can use more stuff on their sheets. And also because this is collaborative storytelling, so they may have an idea I don't have.
Last time, it ended up all of us starting each bid with, okay, hear me out, and giving an absolute insane one, and it just escalated. So I'm excited for the scientists.
It mostly worked.
It did, and that's because Honey is a nice keeper.
All right, what do we have, scientists?
I think at this point I'll just do an idea roll
Okay.
to compare it to everything I've seen so far since we got here.
Okay. And as modus, what are you going to use?
I want to use spot hidden to see if there's anything unusual about this sea, to see if there's, maybe something that uh, isn't quite obvious on a first glance that could lead to something else that might indicate that there's more to this than meets the eye.
Okay.
Can I do a thing? This might be stupid. It's
There's
not
no
gonna be a
such
roll.
thing.
Oh, honey, you know there isn't with Cass. I think Cass will want to like hold the seat up and like move it near her neck to see if it reacts or anything, because I feel like I don't know what she thinks. She just wants to see any reaction from her neck.
Okay, so hold off on that for a second because right now the seed is between the scientists, and they're kind of doing their thing with it, and you'd have to get the seed passed to you. So let's put a to be determined pin in that because I get what you're trying to do. And let's go back to the scientists to see what their results are.
Yeah, at a 86.
I got a 75.
Are those
Out of
failures?
70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's gonna take as many like details about this in his notebook as he can.
Same.
I'm just picturing this in my head with the way I keep going over this and them trying to look at it and take notes and everything.
Yeah, they're holding this tiny seed as they're going like back and forth.
It's a
It's a s-
hefty.
Oh, it's big?
Yeah, it's about the
Size
size
up
of a
there.
pear.
Oh, I forgot how big pears were. When me and Cass became the same person.
All right, so I'm gonna need another drive carriage from our two experts over there.
Ride or die,
We
except
don't,
probably
we don't
just
Let's
die.
need
go.
that. We don't need
Yeah,
that.
okay.
It's all
Right.
about familia. 17 out of 20. And my 20 is my hard success.
Okay.
Nice. I got 24 out of 32. 32 is my hard success.
Somehow
We got there.
We figured it out.
figured it out.
We got there.
Practice makes perfect.
And as this happened, because you all are going pretty quickly, the road does slightly start to get easier to traverse, but you all are getting a better hold of if I pull it to the right, it goes left. If I pull it to the left, it goes right. If I hold it short, what happens? You're really figuring out how to maneuver this. So
This is not nearly as difficult as my drivers have made it seem in the past. I think I might be tipping too much.
You got hang of it. See, it's because these are mechanical horses. They are different than real horses.
Mm.
in the wagon, Marty is just rubbing Cal's back because motion sickness went to like 100% for that poor child during this ride as everything starts to even back out. And Cal doesn't believe it. Cal is just like, it's a trick. Just keeps his face.
They're lulling us into a false sense of security.
And Desdemona inside, you begin to see the edge of the forest as you approach this. By this time, it's early night, like the evening has rolled through, and you see the silhouette of Moss Meadows Estates. And there's not roiling, there's like rolling green hills. It looks like you went from a horror place into a storybook picture because there's these hills that are just covered in just green, or you're assuming it's green because it is nighttime. There's fields, farm fields, and so on. There's a couple of cows grazing in a field as you exit this forest. Off in the distance, there's a very tall hill that has this massive mansion on it, but that's far out. It looks so tiny from where you are. Then this small, quaint town that is surrounded by these large pastures. And because it's getting ready for this astrologus, meteor shower, you all are about a day later than you probably expected to be there. So, um, by now you would have expected the tents to be set up in all of the fields and people to have their places set up, but the fields are empty. There's no tents in any of the fields as you approach the town. There's some lights, from the four main buildings, which is the inn and cafe, the office of agriculture, the office of village affairs, and the general store and farming goods, which you will find out when you get in there. These four main buildings around this center, this marketplace central location. So there's lights on. It looks like it's an occupied town, but a ghostly quiet in the after you exit the forest and start approaching the town past these empty pastures, these large pastures and plots of farmland.
Are the hills alive with the sound of music?
I knew you were gonna ask.
I thought the same thing. You could try singing to them, but if they sing back, we're in trouble.
Since it's nighttime, can I look out the window and see if I see any like small shadows, like maybe the kind like grayish kind that look maybe like chipmunk shapes? Can I do a spot hidden?
that the running of the chipmunks, so to speak, these special chipmunks, happens about 48 hours from now when they do their grand hibernation kind of thing. But yeah, you're welcome to lean out the back of the wagon and roll spot hidden if you like.
Bless you. Always trying to look for that. Okay. Spot hidden is pretty good. Okay, 48 out of 65.
You see no chipmunks.
Bummer.
So
I look out. Can I say something crazy? Like, I look out and I go, "Yep, those are hills." And I close it, and I'm really sad. I just lean against Cal and like Sim and Marty, like the big group. I just lean on them, but I don't explain why.
You all right, Cass?
Yeah, just disappointment, but it's fine. Let's check out that rock. I mean, the seed. Can I do the seed thing where I put it near my neck now?
Sure.
And pick up the pear-sized thing that is apparently bigger than expected, and I put it like hold it like there and see if like I can use one hand. Okay, so I'll like touch my thing and be like, is my neck doing anything weird when I put it here, like a magnet or something?
Marty is just looking in that way that people do when they're pretending not to see something, just like, I'm not dealing with this because but you feel that the pear-shaped thing that you're holding, the seed, it's warm, and it's not necessarily hot outside, but the seed stays this very comfortable to touch but noticeably warm temperature. And Give me a luck roll, please.
Oh, my luck is okay at best. It's ironic because I'm supposedly lucky. Okay. I got a 43 and my luck is 55.
You feel a faint buzzing, but that's it.
I hold it and I go, I feel it. And then I realize I sound crazy, so I just go, yep, it's a pear shaped, it's pear sized. That's here you go, scientists, and hands it back.
So, anything you all want to do before approaching the town? I will tell you this. You all know that normally accommodations are reserving a tent in one of the large fields because they go in and they harvest all root vegetables and so on, and then they kind of till the earth, and then they put all the tents out there so that you have a perfect, view of the forest line and can witness both the astrologus meteor shower and also the running of the chipmunk, so to speak. So it's a whole experience. Um,
When I stuck my head out, did I notice that there was no
Yes.
stuff out there? Okay, so I think I'm disappointed for a long time, and then I go, oh yeah, funny thing. I just looked out. I'm not too familiar with this town and its activities, but I'm from a big city, and usually when there's festivals, they take stuff out. It looks different than it usually would, but it looks the same. Like there's no tents. I don't understand, and I thought there was going to be tents for me to watch the chipmunk. I mean, the stars and all that. Isn't that odd? And she points out, look, isn't that weird?
Samuel will speak up. Not especially if everybody come in here went through what we went through.
Guess that's true. Um, yeah, I think that's all she'll say for now.
Is the forest that we went through the only way to get into this town, or are there other, or can you come in from other directions?
For the sake of narrative flow, I'll say here, this looks like the most direct route to get to this town. You know, um, because it's a Victorian era, it's not like people are airdropping in all the time.
Right.
There are the hills. Is that giant mansion off in the distance. So probably from a different direction it would be possible. But from what you can see and what you know, this is the most direct route to Moss Meadow Estates. What are the drivers doing?
Do we have to make any more drive checks?
No.
Oh.
Please no.
This movie got good.
Yeah, we mastered it. Between the two of us, just no doubt. So just seeing everything. What are you gonna do, Decibel? I'll let you take the lead.
Can I guess we'll try to find an inn.
Okay. So you're gonna go to the town, the Moss
Yeah.
Meadow Estates town. Okay. So the horses know where to go. Like they go directly to the town and then stop right at the front gates. And
That's
at the
good.
front,
They stop because we don't know how to stop them.
I was just gonna jump out and
Wait,
roll.
Barrel roll.
my camera. Okay, wait.
Don't they just stop when you let go of the reins?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, maybe.
I don't know that.
I
Say this out loud.
I just
Yeah.
imagine the both surprise and relief that they stop at the gates because trying to figure out how do we stop them.
You just gotta see Sai getting ready to jump off, and then it's like, oh, okay.
oh, we don't need to. Oh, okay.
Sir.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
And you see a gatekeeper. It's probably not the regular gatekeeper. It's a short individual, about 4'11", maybe. Wears this hood, but at the hood you can see this wispy white hair and holding a lantern, and there's a glint of these Coke bottle glasses as she approaches the carriage, but a lantern that looks almost bigger than she is. She's just struggling a bit as she comes towards the carriage, um, holds it up, and um, you see an older lady, probably in her late 60s, maybe. It's hard to tell her exact age. Her skin is a little bit it's darker, like this chestnut brown color. So she's got to be up there in age for some of those wrinkles that are showing up. Um, as she looks at the carriage, looks between Sai and Desdemona. Right. Are you here for the?
I'm looking
And she
for
looks
the
off.
inn.
Right. Sorry, just started this position. It's not normally my job. Are you here for the yay, the with the chipmunks and the giant vegetables and all of that stuff?
Yeah.
Right. Uh so you're here. Um this is where it happens.
Okay.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I think she comes up. Hey, how's it going?
Oh goodness, where did that one come from?
I think I definitely throw up in the carriage and go, "We've arrived! Thank God! I thought I was going to die." Then sees another person and goes, "Hello, I'm Cassiopeia. I have a question. Do you work here? Are you a part of the festivities in front of the city?"
Give me a second. Someone turned their bass on and drove.
Pump that.
Okay,
bass.
I did want to. Oh. Alright, if you're in the carriage, can you get out so I can count how many people there are?
Quick question.
Huh?
Why are there no tents?
Oh, right. Because we tried to put them up, but then there was something there, and then like carrots keep popping out the ground, and
Well, when
so
you say something was there, what something would you say? Because we had a few somethings occur to us, and I was just trying to share.
I just told you the carrots keep popping out the ground, so we can't put like we pulled all the carrots, we got them all. No, pop, pop, pop. There's carrots everywhere.
Is that normal?
Absolutely not.
Great. And
Now
then
come
she turns to the
on,
group, and she looks at the group, and he's like, she's
Are
like, "Oh,
they
no.
normal carrots?
No.
Are they incendiary?
Not really, they're just wily.
And when you say carrots, I'm assuming you mean like the big, huge kind that you guys are notorious for.
Do you want to stand out here in the middle of the night, all night, talking about my carrots? Do you want to come into the village?
I would very much like to come into the village and the inn, please.
Oh.
I don't like that sound.
Oh no.
No, well, what?
We've got a child. We have a child with us.
Yeah, I
He
go.
needs
I point to
somewhere
Cass.
sleep.
Cal is being carried, like Marty is coming out the carriage with Cal, who is wrapped around him like a chimpanzee. And Marty also looks exhausted from all of this. He says, "Oh, right. So you can stay in my house for one night, and then go put your tent in the field."
I thought the carrots stopped the tents from being in the field.
Well, maybe you got through the forest. You're the first people that we've seen in a minute, so maybe
Oh.
you can handle the carrots in the field.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's reverse a little bit. We're the first people you've seen? Isn't this a huge
Funny thing, yeah, this is how we make most of our money, but ha 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 ha, nobody's been coming through.
Ah,
Hilarious. True.
Did you not
fascinating.
think maybe to send someone out of town to check on that?
Well, no, not really, because we don't usually have to do that. It's a whole. Oh my goodness, where are my manners?
R-
I did send a letter to my sister. She's in London, but she was like, everything is fine. Stop complaining. And I was like, oh, okay, I won't complain anymore. And yeah, I just call me Ma Myrtle. Yeah.
All right. So, first people, no other tourists.
Mm.
And then I think I turn to the group and go, we did come with a whole train of people, but they have not shown since then.
Wow. That's that's something. That's something.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, this was going to be the first year we had a train, but they never finished the track. So
Oh, I thought that the woman who ran the city decided she didn't want the train to go through the
correct.
city. But you were going to do it this year?
We thought there was going to be a train, but there's no train because there's no tracks.
But they stopped the train tracks. Did she stop it, or did someone else stop it?
Oh my goodness, that's far beyond my pay grade. I'm just here to grow, vegetables and
I
make
see.
sure I'm the official officer of uh, agriculture, and I take care of all of that. And so,
So you would know a lot about, I don't know, seeds, things like that. And if something was like
during my office hours when I'm not working, I don't answer questions like that. Are you gonna come to my house? I'll give you some food and a place to sleep, and then in the morning.
There's a lot of us. Can you hold us in capacity?
Yeah, because all my kids are grown, so there's space.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
How
Right.
many people are there? Because
There's a lot. Hey, guys! And she calls to the signs. Guy, gotta come out of the carriage.
So, Ma Myrtle, follow-up question. If no one else is here, why can't we stay at the inn?
that's a very good question. You don't want to stay at the inn. It's we had a storm and it was raining and it did some stuff, and so we've got some people in there right now who aren't feeling that well. So we put them all there because we don't necessarily have like a hospital.
Not feeling so well, like sick? Like how?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm really tired. We heard your carriage was coming and they were like, oh, Ma, go out there and say hello. And so I was like, okay, I'll go out there and say hello. But my back hurts and my feet hurt. And I really was in the middle of making some stew for dinner.
Okay.
Science
Sorry.
could have stepped forward and offered to hold the lantern for her since this thing is like almost the size of her.
she hands it over really. Oh, bless you. That's the heaviest thing.
Sorry for all the questions. We're just
Come on, we're gonna go inside.
Yeah,
and all these 5 people
Sammy
are
was
gonna leave
unloading
you
all that
alone.
stuff already. And he's gonna walk the woman out into the estate.
I think she'll follow him. And then
Right.
can she pull Desdemona aside and be like, when you and Sai were doing your fake investigation, did you guys see the other passengers?
We did not see anyone else. That is precisely why we were trying to go into locomotive. We figured, oh, well, they are sleeping in there, or maybe they will take off without us. Definitely wasn't planning to take locomotive, and I
Okay.
resent that accusation.
I definitely was not accusing you of anything, but as we say, now that you've said that, I feel a little suspicious. But once again, not the hill I want to die on, so we're going to keep on moving. Oh, and also, really, just in case, usually in this part of the country, I respect your culture, kind of, but in this part of the country, we don't bring up folklore and accuse people's children slash family members slash them themselves of being a part of that folklore. You see, because if you do, we'll get kicked out of the house, and we are not going to get kicked out. You will be getting kicked out.
Like
So
as
sure,
this is
I know
happening.
she's talking. No, she's holding the lantern up there.
No. I'm just saying.
Away.
No. With the lady of the house as he's walking her into the estate, he just goes, "Just so you know, we might have some witches."
Oh my god! Oh my
She
god!
pauses and looks at you. Well, maybe they could do something about the carrots. I don't really care.
Oh, that's good.
You know, I knew some people, and I used to call them witches, not because they did magic, but just because, they do stuff, and then it'd be very annoying. And
So
then
you're
I'd be-
familiar with witches then? Tell me everything.
Okay, so there's this one lady. Her name is Maple, and
Mhm.
she's supposed to grow broccoli, right?
Yes.
And that has been her crop for the last 5 years is broccoli. And then
Right.
all of a sudden she decided to choose the cauliflower. She just changed to cauliflower. Now let me explain to you. She's known as broccoli. Nobody else was growing broccoli. And so now she's doing cauliflower. That throws off the whole display because there's no green. And I was like, witch, you should have done something different, or at least told us that you weren't doing any broccoli so someone else could claim it.
Are you? Yeah. So I think you're using witch as a replacement for bitch. Not.
No, not at all. Because here's the thing.
I've been
it's a
getting very
magical-
confused with these two words lately.
Well, the first one you probably shouldn't use. Someone else can claim that for themselves, but it's probably not
Why
something
would
you
someone do that?
Because there's female dogs are really they're protective of their children, of their puppies,
Oh.
and they are good at keeping things going, when things and they can hunt really well, and there's a lot of good things about that. But you know how culture and language changes and people start using stuff as derogatory things when they really aren't to start with.
Of course, I understand that I'm published.
Oh, you're published.
Yes, I'm an author, master of
Right.
words.
I've got a son, he got published, but he still has to come here and he's like, oh, Mom, can you give me some money? And I'm like, okay, I can give you some money. And he's got several things published, those penny dreadful
I'm an
things.
award-winning author.
Oh.
Yes. Not saying that your son isn't. I'm sure he's a fantastic lad.
You're very brave. You're very brave.
Thank you.
Because I'm going to feed you tonight, and you're sitting up here talking smack about my son.
I'm not talking smack. I'm just saying that there's different
Cut
levels
to-
to this.
Desdemona and Cass going, please don't offend the host. All you have to do, Desdemona, just don't offend. Listen, I just need you for one night. Please just be nice. Or silent. You love being silent. Can't you do that, please?
I have been nice the entire time. I have tried to protect you ingrates from goblins and witches.
First of all, you
Also,
haven't tried to
strange old
protect me.
woman inviting you to her home to feed you when there is crisis of giant vegetables that doesn't scream witch to you.
First of all,
We're
you
going
are-
to walk down end of street and house will be made of gingerbread. You are welcome to stay there and get fattened and eaten.
First of all, you're a strange young woman, so I don't really see the disparity here just because she's old. There's literally no difference between you and her except for she's hospitable, and you have accused me of being a werewolf, being maybe a werewolf, maybe a plant, maybe being hated by plants. I could go on.
Well, accusation is one thing. There is no factual proof that the plants do not like you, and now you are part plant. As far as the age thing, in hinterlands, people do not live long. You have crossed dark forest with metal snake plant thing. We are first ones across. How do you think people live that long in this area without some sort of consortium with dark powers? It is a miracle you are alive this long. I don't know what luck you're learning with.
Yes,
I am
queen.
alive because I can break anything before it breaks me.
Get her.
You are mystery case.
Marty just walks past with Cow and just gives a couple snaps and then just keeps going.
I think she thought,
He just rubs Cow's back.
Sim,
And
Sim
Just
hears,
being-
I can break anything before it breaks me, and just exchanges a look with Marty.
I I think
Yep,
she just Cass is realizing that this is just a dead end for her emotionally. And she's so
Desdemona is an
Just
iron
don't-
curtain in every sense of the word. You
Let's
cannot break
go.
through.
I just don't offend the host or sleep outside. I
Didn't-
genuinely think it would suit you. And she would walk faster and be like, and don't be weird. Like,
And cutting
continue
back to side. I'm just no, like you need to understand. Being published is entry level. Being an
I get it.
award-winning author
I
is
get it.
that's up there. Like
Oh,
there, your son might be
that's the
doing
difference.
weird,
That's
but
it. I've never been
not room
published
to
in.
grow though, and I
I've-
can help him. Is all I'm
I've-
saying.
You're going to help me, son, be a better writer.
Exactly.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, you can also help me, son, be better at his finances too, right?
I don't pertain to be an accountant. I have people for that.
Oh, you've got people for that, do you? Right.
Yes.
All right. So I don't have extra people, so you're gonna have to roll up your sleeves and help me get the table set and all the rest of that as you tell me more about how published you are.
Published and award winning. I think
I
that's
don't
what
have to add that to the end of it. That's important to you.
Ooh,
no,
important.
that's what I've earned. It's like
I'm the officer. I'm the agriculture officer for a town that grows abnormally large
Do
vegetables.
you have a doctorate in art in this? I will call you doctor because you've earned it. That's all I'm
You
saying.
know what? You know what? I might, but I wouldn't say that. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it doesn't matter right now.
I think that it does.
Sammy, who's also helping escort this lady, is going to turn aside, quit disrespecting this woman.
We're just having a civil disagreement, is all.
You don't need to have a disagreement at all. We're just walking inside.
Yeah,
Of course.
she comes inside and she goes, would you like me to rub your shoulders? I was able to do that for the person who used to look after me, and he used to do a lot of
She just
manual
holds up a
labor.
hand. All right. This is what we're going to do. And she leads you to this 2-story building, and on the first level it's the Office of Agriculture, but there's like living quarters above, and it's a decent size, house. It's one of the larger buildings. This is what we're going to do. You're going to come inside. I'm going to tell you where you sleep. Hopefully you've got your bed rolls and all the rest of that extra stuff. Oh, right. Then I'm going to finish cooking, and you're all going to help. We've got vegetables to chop up. We've got things to wash and everything. You're going to eat. We're going to go to sleep. I don't really care if you are award winning. I don't care if you're royalty. I don't really care anything about your social status right now because I'm not working right now. I'm off. And I am 89 years old. So at my age,
Wow.
I don't really, doesn't really matter. I'm going to get these boots off my feet. I'm going to put my feet in something more comfortable. And I'm going to sit down after I enjoy my meal and smoke a pipe. That's what I'm planning this evening. Now, what you do after you eat, I don't really care. Just don't burn my town down or my house. In the morning, I'll take you to the fields. That way, you can see these strange carrot things, figure out if you want to camp out there, and do what you need to do. I'm sorry there's not a huge festival, but apparently the forest is trying to kill people or something, or whatever you were saying. Yes, you, the tall one that looks like she's actually done some stuff.
You should no longer have trouble with giant vegetables. I am now Queen of Subterraneans after defeating King in single duel. I think they will leave you alone now.
I saw it.
Alright, so I don't think that's actually a thing, but I know it's important to you, so I'm going to acknowledge that you have defeated something, whether it's an actual thing or an emotional thing or a personal development thing.
I whisper,
respect you.
definitely emotional.
Alright, I didn't ask for a name, man, or some clarification.
Oh no, I meant I whispered to Marty.
Okay, right. Just right. So when we go in my house, we're going to be family, right? I'm going to treat you like family because that's what we do at Moss Meadows. Any objections?
Oh man.
You have any booze?
Nasai. I like smack him. Nasai, stop.
She
No,
goes,
wait, Nasai. Come on.
just
You
want
think
to know.
you
I
think
know the polish thing is
Just,
huge.
just shut up.
I'll get you food. Stop it.
right,
I can
both
pay
of you,
for it.
both of you,
I
both
don't
of you.
know.
Hey. I'm 89 years old, living in a town that's claimed to fame is chipmunks, stars in the skies, and abnormally large vegetables.
Mhm.
So
She
you
goes,
definitely have booze then.
absolutely. She says,
Yeah, I just kind of look at Cass like,
and she looks
But
at
will
Cass,
she
but
share that with you?
I see. Ha ha ha. She says, "Oh, I like this one. All right, come on." And she's going to step to the side so that Marty can go in first with the child, and looks to Sim. You two can have my room for the evening. I'll just sleep in my chair with my legs up, like the old days.
I that we don't want to put you out.
Oh no, it's fine. Um, right. And then she trundles in and takes off her big, thick, pea coat cloak thing, and you see she's very tiny. Like just a tiny 4'11" old lady, 89 years old. But she walks upright. She's not hunched over. She looks pretty capable and strong for her age. Wispy, long white hair that's in this messy braid down her back, and she's got these two big, like the equivalent of rain boots on that she steps out of and then puts on these house slippers and then grabs her house coat and puts that on over her clothes and then trundles off to the kitchen area after she leads you up the stairs to the quaint and homey kind of living space. There's three rooms, a master bedroom and two smaller rooms, and a bathroom, a kitchen, a living room area, and it's all very quaint. Smells like farm, but not like farm animals, but like earth and dirt and home cooking. Lots of quilts and things that have been knit or crocheted thrown over things. And yeah, that's how she leads you into her domicile as she starts getting ready, and there's all these vegetables lined up. She's got some potatoes and some carrots and some onions, in baskets. And normally you'd have like three onions here. There's like two big onions and then one giant potato. And she's got a step stool that she pushes up to the counter to step on, and she has a giant knife and size. Every time I start to cook this stew, I have to fight the vegetables in order to get them in the pot because they're so large.
Why don't you get a larger pot?
Well, the pot's pretty doggone big, but I'm not that big.
That makes sense.
She
You only
looks at,
need so much stew, right?
I know I'm one person because all my children are grown.
Right? We make the food. We make so much food, and Cal says, "Oh yep, I'll eat it." So we make extra, and then he doesn't eat it, and then what do we do with the leftovers?
Well, that's the problem. What do you do with the leftovers? Especially when you find out they've been eaten but not at your house, and then you're like, okay, so why did I make all this stew? But I do it every year because my sister makes a big pot of stew in London for all her people that she takes care of, so it's kind of a way to stay close to her.
Oh, that's very
Shoes
nice.
off, shoes off, do not track mud through my
Cass like
face.
fully stops as soon as she sees how homey it is, and is like her skin crawls because she doesn't understand like lived in spaces. She's like, oh, everything smells like lived and like hair and people live here and have grown up here. Is there any like those things where there's like marks where kids grew up in heights and things like that, on the walls? Because she's gonna have a panic attack if she does.
No, there's none of that on the walls that you can see. You'd have to
Oh,
go
thank
looking
God.
for that.
So I think she'll just like walk really, like takes off her boots like she says, and then like walks very precariously, like she doesn't want to touch anything because she's stressed.
What's everyone else doing?
when she says that, there's an audible from Sai when Benny takes issues.
What was that? What was that? I think I heard. Oh, I don't need any food this evening. I'm going to be fine.
If you were going to threaten me with something that I truly would, it would be the booze.
I just misheard that and didn't hear booze. I'll be honest here.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
I refuse.
Oh, I'm published. I don't need food. I can subsist on just alcohol.
Award-winning published author.
Sorry, you
I've had 8 children.
You told him.
I mean,
why would you do that?
You really can't beat that.
I was gonna say I would have learned after the third. How many times do you need to make the same mistake, right? That's the book.
Can I attack? Can I punch him? Can I fully punch him?
Then take a step away, like, no, you're on your own, it's one.
At this point, Cass, we're gonna do something here because
I'm gonna call you Kenny Loggins because you just marched into the danger zone.
Danger zone.
I need you to roll a dodge.
Me?
No, Sai.
Am I about to get Black Mamba whooped in a TTRPG game?
That's correct.
That would be amazing. Oh my god. I rolled a 1.
Hey.
He doesn't deserve that one. He doesn't deserve it. Make him
I rolled a 1. I am Neo. I stopped the belt in midair.
That's not how that works. Stop projecting.
Well, she got a 2. So the first thing that flies your way was a wooden spoon, like a boomerang, just comes flying and barely misses.
All right. Okay.
She jumps off. And she says, "Oh, apparently you've been through this before."
With a mouth like that, can you?
I need you to roll another dodge.
Okay.
These are your Highlander powers, avoiding whoopings.
I think it is. I rolled a 15.
She rolled a 7.
God
You
damn!
dodged the first.
1 for 2.
You dodged the first thing, and on her way, she's taken off one of her slippers, and just practice aim, just throws it across the room, smacks it to
dodges the spoon like ha. The dead from Grand Theft Auto shows up.
Oh my god.
Wasted.
And this small 4'11" woman comes over to where you are. "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you would have learned after the first mistake."
I was just having a bit of a laugh. I didn't mean to offend, ma'am. Here, how can I help you with dinner?
So that's a good one. She says, come on. Well, I can tell you, after the 4th one, I was about to put my husband out the house completely, but, we reconciled, and he was like 6'2" and built like a brick house. So, there's only so long I could have been like, no.
I don't need all these details, ma'am.
She says, but, I love all my children so much. So, but they're all grown.
Yeah, they're grown.
Mm-hmm.
Sim is
works up to the Moss Meadows. Yeah, and she's gonna get as much help as she can to make.
Yeah, I can she help, and then when they're cooking, when there's like a quiet moment, if I ever shuts up, when there's a quiet moment, can she like say something like, "You said you had a lot of kids. Did you ever? And this isn't like a huge home or anything, and you're only a farmer. Did you ever worry that you couldn't take care of all of them, and you felt like you had to abandon them or anything? Like there could be, if there was any like a good reason why someone would leave their kid,
This seems like a conversation we should have with some alcohol and tea.
Where? Sorry.
Guy Pierce.
Chop the vegetable. Chop the potato.
This very poignant moment is punctuated by you just hear like the very loud thud of a knife going into the cutting board.
Yeah.
Or there's the one is, "Oh, I just got it. You keep saying children are grown as agriculture pun because that is your job.
You know. She says a
It makes
moment.
so much sense. You just hear Sai agree. Give me up.
All right, so she just pats you, on the back, Cassiopeia, and says, I can't speak for other people. People make decisions. Sometimes they regret them. Sometimes it's for things we don't know why. But I do know we're gonna have a very delicious stew, and you're going to eat some.
Hey, I appreciate letting us stay here. I know that we are, and then she looks at the congregation of Sai, still kind of looking around to see if there's alcohol nearby, doesn't want to slamming the knife a little bit too forcefully, and then like Sim and like dealing with Cal and Marty and the scientists. What are the scientists doing? Chilling.
Sam has put his stuff away and he's helping cook.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how this goes.
I think she looks around and goes, I know that we are a bit of a ragtag group. I appreciate you letting us stay with you. We don't intend to stay together this whole time, just like the group. We're not together.
No,
like our
I
group
don't.
is not.
My,
I'm not. What I'm saying is, I'm not with him. She points aside. I'm not with him. I'm as far with him as possible. I am not with them.
My twins used to say that about one of their siblings too. They used to be like, "Oh, I don't know them."
Yeah, I mean, I literally just met. I literally met them like.
I don't really. I think that's really more important for you to know than it is for me to know, because to me, you're all strangers that I've let in my house.
Fair.
But it's okay because I'm 89 years old, as if I don't have things in this house to protect me.
Why
Okay.
does everyone so scary in this? Why
This
are
is
they all...
all right. Now, what is Sim doing?
Sim is going over to help with the cooking and realizing that he never actually took his arm wrappings off. And it's just gonna take a sec to sort of calm down and undo those and lean down to Cal and say, hey Cal, why don't you go wash your hands and get ready for dinner? All right?
Marty just kind of gives you a small salute and leaves Cal off to go get washed up. They're both exhausted. They're probably going to go pass out on a bed for a while just as they wait.
Can
and-
I tap Marty on the shoulder
Yeah.
and have him stay behind for a sec?
Yeah, what?
So I know I'm really good at staying calm and and collected and whatnot in front of the kid. But I am freaking the hell out right now about everything that's happening. I need him to be safe. I know you need him to be safe. So I need to make sure that you're handling things okay, so that if I need to freak out for a minute, I can go do that.
So I don't think anything part of this is okay. Like, I think this is as far from okay as we possibly could have gotten. It probably
Yes.
would have been safer to stay in the city during, when everyone's super obsessed with Penny Dreadfuls than it would be for us to be here. But we're here. But on the plus side, we're together.
Yeah.
We raised a super smart kid.
I don't know how that happened.
I'm going to take a lot of credit for that, but also,
As you should, yes.
And we both know how to hide a body, so you got to look at the positive. I'm going to probably, take the first freak out tonight, and then we can tag out and you can freak out tomorrow morning.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and then we can figure that out. Um, the dream thing's weird. Um, like I knew some of the girls at the brothel. They were like, "Oh, here's some cards, or here's something," you know. But the dream thing
Right,
is
right.
definitely that's. Um, I may need to be held back from stabbing the writer.
I cannot promise that I will do that,
Okay.
but
And I think they all are good people, though. You know.
I would
Um,
very much like to sit down and have a drink with all of them. I think that would be quite the evening. But
yeah, like that'd be fun. Like if Cal was staying at
mhm,
well, not my dad's because he's, but like at someone else's, and
right,
we
right.
had an evening, and we're like, hey, let's have a party. The perfect group.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get him washed up. We're gonna take a nap, and then go from there.
Yeah, I know I should be exhausted, but I'm not
Well,
because
you usually go about 4 or 5, rounds against several people before you really get tired out. So
yeah. So
you basically just got to punch a pipe. It's
it was different.
yeah. I'd like to have less different.
Yeah. I might take a look around tonight once Cal's asleep,
Mm.
just to see what's up.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask her if she has some lavender so I can put that in his milk so he doesn't get up tonight. But
I'll be safe.
okay.
I'll bring a gun with me. I'll see if someone else wants to come with.
Yeah, take
One of the
the
quiet
take.
ones.
He laughs, reaches up, pats your cheek, and says, "I'm gonna go get him washed up so he doesn't accidentally flood the bathroom, trying to, you know." He got on that Jules Verne kick, and there
Mhm.
was like the bathtub. He keeps putting all the water in it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's okay. Yeah. All right. He just embraces you, holds you tightly, pats your back in that way to say it's going to be okay, and then
Yeah,
disengages to head
I
in,
do the same.
save the bathroom.
Then I chop some vegetables.
All right. Anything anyone else wants to do during
Yeah,
dinner
I think
prep?
during this couple moment, I'm like realizing I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to cut a single thing, and I'm like going really slow, and I'm like, okay, right. And I look over, and I'm assuming Samuel like actually knows what he's doing, and I go, is he good at smart and good at cooking? I don't understand. I can't even do.
You see struggling, he'll go over and show her how to chop
Oh,
vegetables.
I appreciate you. She sees, and she's like trying to act like she's not watching, but then realize it's okay, and then she's like, oh, okay. How do we not cut ourselves? Is the question? Is this genuine question here? We just.
But you gotta not put your fingers in the way.
As she's saying that, she's holding it like this and goes, "Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, yes.
You gotta tuck them up like that, and yeah.
Oh, I like the idea of them two being like, no, Cass, no, wrong, absolutely.
And
You know,
and back of the blade. Chop with the back of the blade.
Oh, back of the blade.
I learned the fundamentals of cooking while serving as a sous chef in France
sorry,
for
Sai.
research for one of my books.
Hey, Sai, really quick thing. Shut up. I'm gonna continue cutting.
Cass, one more thing in return, if I may. No.
I fully just continue cutting and just ignore him.
Asmodus is going to set the table since I think
Okay.
there's enough people in the kitchen, and when I pass the woman for the first time, I just look at her and just go, "I'm so sorry." And
Yeah, as his movie is passes, Samuel will tap him on the shoulder. You right?
I didn't catch everything. Sorry.
You all right?
I'm good.
All right.
I love this how they're the most level-headed people.
And that's that.
And at a certain point, the old lady has started more directing than doing stuff because there's so many people to just do everything. You know, she's standing on her step stool near the stove so she can put the seasonings in the pot, and it's a big pot. Like when she said it's like I'm about to feed my village size pot, you know, and there's meat to chop up and put in there and vegetables to chop up and put in there, and she's seasoning it. She's got a big spoon that she's stirring around. You know, she put more things in it. um at one point she's stirring with one hand and she's got like a glass of something in the other. She's just sipping from as she stirs and cooks. She's like, yep. All right, I think it'll be ready soon. um yes, you, the one that's published, can you go into the cupboard and get the bread out?
It would be my genuine pleasure, ma'am.
All right, I'll
That's
see if I
all
can
that's
make you an
extra.
award for it too.
I think she's cutting.
If that award is brandy, that would be fantastic.
Well, if you stay on your best behavior, I might have something for you.
I will go and get your bread.
I think while Cass is chopping, she's leaning too close, and her chest is just like, no, stop.
She says, all right, can we do our best not to breastfeed the vegetables?
I'm trying. I think she like
I'm going
goes.
to, she says, I'm going to get a, just give me a second. She hops down, skitters over to a corner,
It
comes
feels
back,
like it's a hazard.
and she puts an apron around. She says, wait. I'm gonna put this here and tie this behind here. And it's a short apron on you, but it does cover.
Oh, nice.
She's like, okay.
I think she like resists as soon as she goes near her because she's like, motherly touch. It freaks out for a moment and is like.
And she's got that kind of motherly touch that's very firm and just very straight to point. Like she ties it in the back a little bit too tight. She's all right, that should do it. That way you don't get anything down there.
I appreciate it. I feel like a lot of people have been covering me lately.
Yeah, it's, you have their blessings. She says they're blessings.
Oh my,
but at the same time, they can prove to be a bit of an inconvenience,
Yeah, I would say the second one is more so. I don't know.
But it's fine. It just means that you're just healthy.
Yeah, thank you. No one's ever said that about them. I'm gonna keep chopping now.
Yes,
she's like so embarrassed.
I've got your bread, ma'am.
Oh my god, our sign cast doing that thing where there's two kids and they're like, Mom, what about me? And they're trying to get her attention.
Oh, wonderful. Good job, Mr.
My award, perhaps?
Where's not time yet? Go put it on the table. Then she's gonna turn to Desdemona. You are the best person at chopping the meat. You did such a good job. I'm very happy. Thank you so much.
Oh.
I have practice.
I can tell. All right.
The bread's on the table.
She's all right. So the stew will be ready in a little bit. All right, everyone, sit down at the table. Sit down at the table.
I think Cass instantly sits by Sim. I mean, yeah. And she sits and goes, I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Are Marty and Cal awake, asleep?
They're in the back. Yeah, they went into the room to get cleaned up and probably just passed out on the bed. They haven't come back out.
I'll leave them there. I'll bring them something later.
Oh, I think I'm already putting like things and putting them in my pocket, like putting a little bit of meat in my pocket for Cal. I'll be like,
I need you to
put
roll
my
a
shoulder.
conceal. I need you to roll a conceal.
I was just about to ask it. I see if I see that so I can snitch.
I have shamelessly stuffed several potatoes in my pockets.
The potatoes are like a foot long.
I chopped it.
Yes.
Okay.
I got a 43 out of 35.
Okay.
I'm stuffing and I go, I bet Cal doesn't like vegetables.
I got a
Some of
7
the
on
meat.
spot.
I put my hand on Cassiopeia's shoulder and I say, "You don't. I'll just bring him a bowl of."
Oh, we can. Oh, we share. Right. Yes. People don't have to steal to have food. Right. Okay.
No.
And I put it. I put it back, and I make eye contact
All
accidentally
right.
with.
Well, that was in your pocket, so keep that for yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna eat it.
Okay.
And then I eat, but I do that thing. I do that really weird thing where you can tell she's not used to eating safely, and like holds her arm out and like eats like this, and she's just like very quickly eating, like scarfing down.
Here, not
Choking
alone.
him.
That's what Desdemona eats.
Oh, that's so cute, both of us.
So we'll fast forward to everyone settled at the table. Everyone gets their bowl, of stew. And it's a hearty stew, very flavorful. Not spicy because she doesn't know you guys like that, but flavorful. And there's bread, and at some point there's milk available, and this very, very sweet berry juice that she brings to the table. And then she brings over. And this is how hardcore she is. She says, my main crop is often just, potatoes. So one of my children who's grown, he's got a distillery, right? And he has made some of the best vodka. And I'm not trying to brag, but when the potatoes are really big and grown in this earth, it's just the smoothest thing.
I genuinely can't tell quality, but I believe you.
I have a
Oh.
revived palate for all sorts of alcohol, and I'd be honored to test this.
Not something you want to brag about alcohol, but I hear you.
Here's the
That's-
problem: is that now I want that in real life, honey. I want giant potato vodka.
I want giant potato vodka made from the earth.
Clockwork Vines brand potato vodka.
We bring to
Sell
you
some
from
merch.
Clockwork Vines.
Oh my goodness. And then she brings out, after you finish the main stew, she brings out these little tarts, these creamy, fillings, and it's probably something like parsnips or so on, but they taste like like almost like vanilla pumpkin tarts, that she brings out, and then she brings out the bottle of vodka, and she brings out the glasses.
What's
She
that?
starts.
Thank you for the raid, other dog.
Oh, there's
Awesome.
a raid.
There was a
Thank you
raid
so
earlier,
much.
guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Game Dad raided us too. So thank you guys.
Woo!
We get no raids.
The only thing being raided is the kitchen with the alcohol, obviously.
So, and for dessert, there's these parsnip tarts and the vodka she brings out, and she gets that all settled out and sits at the head of the table as she looks at you all. But it's been pretty lonely sometimes here, so thank you all for joining me.
Thank you for having us, ma'am.
Thanks for yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate you folding us up.
of course. You didn't want to go to the end. It's really bad there.
Why?
Why is the inn bad? I wasn't aware that there was an issue with the inn.
Well, it's the. And she throws back, her drink, sets it down.
I'm gonna match her.
Yeah. Yes.
I think she's Cass is nursing the same drink and just holding it.
Inhales deeply and takes a pipe out of a pocket and starts packing that as she thinks.
Is the bottle of vodka on the table?
Yes.
I'm gonna refill my glass at hers.
Oh, look at you, see? I've told people sometimes all it takes is a shoe and you get the best results ever.
I mean, honestly, it's the
Nope.
vodka. This is all I wanted.
I
I'm
know.
I'm a lot straighter once I get some alcohol in me. I've been going a couple of days without. It's been driving me crazy.
Cass is noting this mentally. Interesting.
Okay, well, alright. Says now, normally, the fields are packed Beautiful white tents, lots of people getting mud everywhere. Coming to see the giant vegetables, you know? And then, oh, they love the stars, and oh, they love when all those little freakishly large, chipmunks come running out the forest and like, oh, look at them, look at them, look at them. This year, however, we've had the worst storms. And it usually doesn't storm here. It may rain a little bit, but it doesn't storm. And something happened with a patch of grazing grass, I think, that some of the cows were eating, and then some of the people drank something from those cows and then got really sick. So, though
After
they,
after drinking the cow's milk, they got sick, or
yes,
And
They're lactose
eating.
intolerant.
I don't think that's the case.
Oh, because I had a friend once who was lactose intolerant, and
I
none
had
of the
a
milk.
child.
Interesting. So is this the same cow meat that we have to worry about?
No, I would not give you milk from those cows.
I think she makes eye contact and drinks very slowly and says, "I don't drink very often, so I hope that I can behave myself well drunk." And sips really slow.
Oh God. At that, he just downs another shot and pours another one for
Them
himself.
making eye contact while drinking.
She's all right. Yeah, I'm putting you at a 3-glass minimum because
Oh, minimal. Amazing.
Okay,
No.
Lift the is easily on her fourth or fifth.
she laughs at her own joke and she just shakes her head. Oh goodness. But yeah, the inn is full of the sick people right now, so it's a mess, you know. Um,
Well, have you heard anything about the chipmunks?
what do you mean? Have I heard anything?
Cass
about
also
it?
leans forward.
They live in the forests, not the forest you came out of, but the forests to the east and the west, right? And when they do their hibernation, they run into the fields because there's sometimes like some last minute things they can get from the roots and so on. But also they've got a She looks to the right and left. My main thing has always been potatoes, right? So the hardest thing has been planting the potatoes in such a way that don't interfere with the burrows, because they burrow underneath their ground like that. And
That's very considerate of you.
Well, of course, I don't want them to destroy me potatoes just to get, home. So,
Did you ever consider just having the chipmunks dealt with?
I stare at.
An
I jump the
exterminator?
table. I'm just kidding.
An exterminator of some sort?
I'm so sorry. Did you just say exterminated? All of a sudden, Cass's voice is very different. I do not.
good
think
heavens, what happened to her voice?
Extermination? Is that what you just said? I don't think you understand. How about you get exterminated? How about we exterminate you right now? I'm trying to climb the table.
Sim puts a hand on Cassiopeia's shoulder.
Exterminate you! We'll see how that is.
Nope.
We'll find out how
Nope.
published you are then.
I would still be the
Stop putting
same
stuff
amount
away.
of published.
Why we make you a martyr then, you mother?
I mean, he would be
Let me go.
more published because there is obituary.
Let me go. Let me go.
That's a great
Cass,
way.
Cass, Cass,
I sit down.
Cass.
Oh,
He's
mother.
drunk. Cassie's drunk.
I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. You
No,
all
he is,
are
not
just
you.
very, you
I'm
all
just
are
trying to
very
help-
dizzy.
I'm
That's
trying to help
all.
our host.
I'm so
If you have
weird dizzy.
I feel like, yes, you're all very dizzy, and I'm only one sport, and I
she
I
only
just-
had
you-
one.
I had two, first of all. There's not a lot of weight here. It's all here. It's all just there.
And then at this point, she says, "Oh, okay.
Why is there so much weight here and none
Alright,
here? I
alright,
don't
alright,
understand.
Okay,
I
so
feel like an hourglass, but the hourglass is only top and there's no bottom.
Myrtle goes, all right, so maybe she was not quite the one for the. You know what? We're gonna get you some more juice. We're gonna get you some more juice.
You know who needs juice? Sai. Sai, you need some juice in your face, and I'm gonna just get up again.
I just grab Cass around the chest and the waist and just like fireman's carry just to a bedroom.
Sim, put me down. Let me at him. Let me at him.
Doing dishes.
Meanwhile, as this is happening, you've got the calm scientists. They're just clearing the table like this is normal.
I'm going to end you.
Unlike all these people, I got home training.
Then someone just throws another one back lightweight.
Yeah, for real. Sai's gonna pour another glass.
You alcoholic pricks! I swear to God.
So I know some great exterminators in the city.
I'm gonna end his life. I swear to God.
So we're not going to kill the chipmunks. They were here before we were. That's not the approach that we're going to take.
Okay.
But I think you should turn in because I think you're gonna have a very exciting morning. I've got some work to do in the morning after I take you there because again, we still have to prepare the city for the.
Do you have a room with a lock on the door? I'm not afraid of Cass. I just don't trust her.
Is at this point, is she still slightly being carried nearby? I swear to God, you better watch where you sleep. You're gonna find out what the streets are about. You like having a nice home? We'll find out what kind of home you have in the best bed. I will kill you. Sim, let me down. Let me
At
down.
this point, Marty has come out the room and he's like,
I'm gonna kill him. I swear to God. She doesn't even pause. She's too smart. I'm gonna murder him.
He just makes a thumbs like a just bring her in here. Just
I'm gonna taint him, and then I'm not gonna apologize. I'm not gonna apologize. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him.
So about that room with the lock on the door.
The old lady has just hit a lean in her chair as she takes, blows a smoke ring and goes, all my children are grown, but this brings back memories. You're gonna have to double up. There's only 3 rooms. There's my room and 2 extra ones, so you'll double up with somebody. I wouldn't worry about the lock on the door, though.
All right.
I'm going to be sleeping right here in the living room, and I'll see everything.
Okay.
You hear echoing of vague threats that are beginning to sound like a different language.
She's speaking in tongues. We would like to be worried.
You just hear Marty saying, I know, really?
I just feel
okay.
Like he's a danger to kill. He's a danger.
But he's not.
I'm gonna murder him. I'll do us all a favor. He's so
okay.
stupid.
Let's get some airflow. Let's get the corset. Let's get Sam. Do you have an extra shirt? We need a big shirt.
I don't want to take off the apron. The nice old lady put it on me. It makes me sad.
What?
I don't have a mom. I'm gonna kill him.
Okay. Alrighty then.
Yes, it feels like you're dealing with more than just Sai right now.
I'm gonna murder him, and then he's gonna have an orphan. What?
Okay.
He's gonna have an orphan?
Oh my God. I think she's just at this point. You know that part when people are drunk and they just start spiraling, and none of what they're saying is making any sense.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I just imagine.
We're witnessing it firsthand.
For a mix of just like, obviously I'm dealing with other things. I hate Sai. I'm so sad and lonely.
So you have Sim and Marty dealing with cats.
I put my hands on the side of Cassiopea's head, and I just look her in the eyes and say, Cass, I know Sai is the worst.
He is.
But
there's no but. You know he's the worst. He's
I know he's the worst.
He's irredeemable. I should kill him.
No,
Okay,
we're not going to do it. This very nice woman has invited us into her home and fed us.
Yeah.
So we're not going to murder anyone until we are no longer sleeping under her roof. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay.
And she like relaxes against them and goes, I'm so sad.
Cass, would you like a hug?
I would love a hug. She's doing that thing where she's not crying, but she keeps like, I really want a hug.
You've
Now,
got,
Sim gives Cassiopeia a very firm hug.
and then Marty hugs her from the other side, and
Aw.
then Cal
Oh.
scoots forward, crawls off the bed and hugs her around the waist,
Oh.
because he's seen drunken rambles before. This was a different level. Like he was sitting on the bed with wide eyes, like
That's how you knew she was drunk. She didn't even care
taking
that Cal was
notes,
in the room.
like just taking notes. Like, okay, the murder in the potato lady house. Like she's making plans. While this is happening, so Samuel and Asmodeus, I think I heard correctly, you're helping clean up, correct?
Yep.
Desdemona, you're nursing a bottle of vodka.
I'm not nursing. I'm performing surgery.
Okay.
I am draining that bottle with you, Des. We're just gonna take it down together.
Definitely, like a couple of seconds after like the ruckus calms down, she's just like, "That was uncomfortable for me."
I don't know where that came from. I was genuinely trying to be helpful to our host.
I think that either I don't really know what's going on there. I just feel like there's some history between you two that probably isn't good.
I mean, between oh god, you know what?
The thing that is not much history. It's only been 2 days.
I knew amazing things can happen in 2 days.
No, I'm not going here. No, he's just gonna go. Yep, I agree.
Yep. Just alrighty then.
Sam will pass her his belt, and he's not saying anything. He's just gonna put the belt right in front of her, like to do what you gotta do. and he'll say to her, "Can I borrow your kitchen for the night?"
Of course you can bother it for the night. I'm going to be sleeping in the living room, but I'm 89 years old. I can fall asleep whenever I want. So don't worry about waking me up.
Thank you.
She looks at the belt and I snaps it expertly. She's like, "Oh, this one has a good snap to it."
His daddy's belt.
Sai is going to write something on his notepad, and he's just gonna slide it over to the host, and it says "Critter Cannon," and it's a phone number, and it says "Exterminators at Large." Just in case you change your mind.
Oh. So I think we've had enough vodka. So I'm going to take it. When she looks at the bottle, it's empty. So I'm not bringing another one out. You two see yourselves to one of the rooms.
I just not for tonight, but for our travels. I will gladly pay $2-3 for a bottle for the road. This is amazing, and if I have to travel with that psycho for another couple of days, I'm gonna need something to take the edge off.
You're right. We'll negotiate in the morning.
Okay.
After we see what's happening. And you see her, she's kind of playing with that belt, and she does almost this like nunchucks like move with it around her arm and comes back, and she's like, "I like this one. If I had one like this, it has reach." And she's just kind of playing with the but it's got reach to it. This is a beautiful thing. And she toddles off to her chair. She has a lounge chair that is hers with some quilts on it. And she crawls up in it, pulls the quilts on her lap, puts the belt on her lap, um, reaches under the leg rest, and starts pulling something out. And you see she leans a shotgun against her chair, and then she just closes her eyes and she sleeps. Like just in a span of 10 minutes, she gets herself set up in her chair and just goes to sleep with strangers in her house. That's how OG this old lady is.
Respect.
Yeah.
So, Desdemona, should we bunk not being fresh or anything. You kill well, and I feel comfortable having that next to me just in case. I feel if I sleep next to anyone else that we've traveled with other than you.
They might murder you for the Highlander powers, I understand.
Exactly. They don't understand the responsibility that comes with this new title.
I don't imagine there will be much sleep, though. We have to investigate the inn.
We do. We do. It's the only sensible thing. And like his speech is starting to slur now. It's the only sensible thing to do. In fact, he pulls out his gun. All right, let's go. And find out what's going on in the end, because that's what we got to do. Because I'm the Highlander. Duh. Lead the way.
If I rest, will I be able to get my health and my stamina back? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I think that Cass is in the other room in her drunken stupor. She's now went from angry to sad to now extremely low and wants people. And the hugging is good. And she goes, I'm going to go bunk with Samuel. And she gets up and she thinks this is a great idea.
No. Marty is like, wait.
I'm going to, no, it's fine. We need to double up. I'm going to double up with him.
No.
He cut the vegetables so good. Did you guys see him?
Cass.
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
You can stay in here with us.
But there's 3 people. It's already so many.
No,
I'll just go sleep with Ryan. She tries to get...
Cass.
No. Cass.
Guys, she tries to take off her shirt. I got it.
Wait,
no.
Cat. Okay, Cal, go. Cal.
Oh, sorry, Cal.
That way.
She looks at Cal. She got his face. You are my closest friend I've ever had. You were so nice to me.
Oh.
You don't even need to be nice to me, and you are. And I was so mean when we first met, and you were still so nice. Children are the future. Am I right? She acts like she has glasses and tries to cheers you guys. No?
Okay.
Marty's like, I'm gonna try to get this one to sleep as well for at least a couple hours before.
I'm gonna go find Samuel, and you guys go be domestic because you guys are a family, and
you're
I'm not your family. I'm a street rat. I'm gonna go kill Sai.
Cass.
I keep assuming she's like sitting there, like pushing her on the bed to sit down. She keeps trying to stand back up. No, I just feel like no. You guys have each other, but I have no one. But that's okay because I am.
And as when you say that you have no one, you just feel Cal just kind of wraps himself around you from behind, like a
Wallace
backpack.
style.
Yeah, Wallace style, and rests his head on your shoulder, and he's like, "I can tell you a really cool story. I think about a ghost and a monkey."
She's like on a drunk thing, stops when he hugs her, and then drops and goes, "Ghost and a monkey?"
Yeah.
Is it a story like the one Desdemona does, or is it a more fun story?
I think it's fun because it's my story.
Okay. And then
That's
she
real witch talk.
she does that thing when people are behind them. Noir!
Not even Sai, just Noir.
You're in big trouble. I think she does that thing where she like slumps and goes, "So I'm not gonna sleep with Samuel then."
You don't take it from someone who not someone who knows. This is Marty. He likes it. He starts take it. I'm just gonna say probably not the best approach while drunk.
Okay. I really don't drink that. I never drink. When you're drunk,
We can tell.
Your senses are inhabited, and you can't have that when you live on the street. You can't have it. And I don't drink, but then the host gave it to me, and she started talking about how smooth it was, and I felt it would be so rude, and I thought, it's okay. The last time I was drunk, it was fine. It was fine. And then she has a moment where she goes, "It wasn't super fun, but I don't remember most of it, so it's fine, right?"
Just
I'm so sorry. Usually I use a nicer voice, but I don't. I feel like I can't. It's hard to maintain that voice.
Yeah.
It's so quiet. Why?
Okay. And
I-
Marty
Let's hear
just-
about the monkey and the ghost. She like tries
Yeah.
to.
So
like,
Cal is going to tell you a bedtime story about a monkey and a ghost, and it goes all over the world and back
Can she do
again.
that thing where when there's a smaller kid,
Yeah.
where they like kind of spoon them and keep them in like
Yeah.
a tight like area, like just holds on and be like,
Yeah.
I just like to imagine that right when they finally succeed in getting her to go to bed, you guys just hear outside the window, gotta go investigate. Woo!
Oh my god, Cass like splints.
It's like go team venture.
And on that note, as this super domestic scene, Marty is finally like folding up clothes and putting them up as people are
Ooh, Sim has something.
them.
Before like as Cal is going to bed, I just want to like lean down and like brush some hair out of his
Yeah.
face and say, I just want to make sure you know that your dad and I are very proud of you for um for telling us about your dreams, and you know we want to make sure that you know that you're a great kid.
He gives you the biggest smile and nods and then goes, I'm trying to.
Wait, what's happening? What happened with the ghost and the monkey? She's like
And
stirs
then
and
The
yeah.
monkey
Uh-huh.
ate the rooster. His story goes
I thought they were friends. It's a betrayal. She like
Like-
tries to, and she tries to go back to sleep. She does that thing where she just like nuzzles into him. It's like,
Marty realizes he has adopted another child and is rethinking his life choices. And outside, Sai is talking about investigating with Desdemona.
Fucking figure this out for once and for all, because we're the best investigators. You're my partner. I love you. What? I didn't say, huh? Let's go. Woo!
And the scientist Samuel is going to be doing something in the kitchen. And Asmodeus, does he go to bed or is he also staying up to do some?
Well,
Invest-
I want to see if Samuel needs some help
Okay.
with what he's doing. If he doesn't, then I'm going to spend time outside
Mhm.
with my telescope looking at the stars and try to study them.
Yeah,
No.
he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind you helping. He's just gonna run some tests on some of the stuff he's collected
Mhm.
Okay.
and
So,
write some notes and stuff like that.
all right.
Okay. We'll litter the kitchen with notebooks.
So on that note, on this super domestic, touching, chaotic scene, where the camera pans from the newly formed family in the room, the scientists hooking the kitchen up because it's about to become a science lab, Desdemona and Sai fully vodka'd up and ready to investigate, the old lady sleeping in the chair with a shotgun and a belt. Um, this is where the camera would pan out. And we're going to do our typical Clockwork Vines ending. We're going to go to each character. You tell us what their current inner monologue is, and then give your outro. And we'll go to the next person. And we'll start from the bottom up this time. And we'll start at Cassiopeia. What's going through her mind?
well, she's drunk, so right
Vodka.
now she has mostly just alcohol in her brain. Ghosts and monkeys. I think I don't know if she's thinking about a lot, obviously, because
Yeah.
you know she's being told a story. She's kind of out of it. But I think that for the first time, maybe in her entire life, she goes to sleep feeling very safe and feeling very warm, and not just because there are way too many bodies on this bed. I think she feels a little bit like she smells like Cal's like little kid shampoo, and like how the pillows are like very fluffy, like they've been slept on, not like hotel ones or inn ones, you know. And she just for a second kind of pretends that she's with her parents and she has a family.
And who are you and where can we
Oh
find
right,
you?
yeah. Who am I? My name is Bella. You can find me on Boondoggles on Twitter, or don't. You know, it's your life. I mostly just tweet really socially, politically aggressive things, and I compliment my friends really aggressively as well. So if you like aggression, you know, in a tiny little body, I'm your girl. Yeah.
All right. Desdemona.
Gosh, I've been Velvet playing Desdemona, who is you know, she knows what's up. Everybody else doesn't. It's okay though.
That's what's going through her mind. I know everything.
Yeah.
And yep, that sounds on brand.
The maybe witch house wasn't made of gingerbread, so that gotta rationalize that a little bit, but otherwise pretty up to speed. You can find me on the interwebs at OG Brown Sugar, and I think my favorite part, aside from the 411 mom laying down the law, definitely I love the scientists finding their stride. And Samuel possibly like screwing over Simon by giving over that belt.
Why do we assume that the belt's gonna be used on Sai? Hey!
Because
Who knows?
Because Sam has siblings and he knows how this story goes.
No, you'll be fine. Sim.
I am, as always, I am Rowan. I've been playing Sim. Sim is very conflicted between, the need to make sure that his family, which, for better or for worse, now includes Cassiopeia, is safe, and the need to figure out what's going on. Sim's thinking maybe I should go investigate with those two, but also, yeah. You can find me on Twitter at thatothernerd5. I do things. Yeah.
they're published. They're gonna be published soon. They're gonna be published.
Yep. So look out for that. Sorry, it's been a long weekend.
Alrighty then. Samuel.
Yeah, as calm as Samuel's been over the last few hours, Samuel's in de-stress mode right now. Because he's been through some stuff normal people don't go through.
Mm-hmm.
And the way Samuel de-stresses is by filling his head with data. So he's going to focus on these tests for the night and try to relax. And of course, my favorite part is the old woman.
Alrighty
That
then.
reminds me of too many women I know.
Okay. Asmodeus. It's going through his mind. Oh, right. Ryan, where can we find you?
Oh, Sphinx Roll on Twitch and Sphinx Roll on Twitter. I don't really do a whole lot.
All right.
No, he's a big supporter. Don't listen to him. He's
Huge
great.
supporter.
For
He's
real.
the best.
Alrighty then. Asmodeus.
Asmodeus, I think, is very similar to Samuel. He's glad Samuel's here because it's easy to dig into the science with someone and keep that as a distraction from all the other, we'll just call it social interactions that have been going on. Um, he's still very focused on the appearance of those stars or at least objects in the sky, and wondering what they are, and wants to take measurements. How bright they are. Are they moving with the rest of the constellations, or are they not? Um, so that's where his thoughts are, and in the very back of his mind, he's wondering which one of the group gets the shotgun. Uh,
All right. And who are you
so
and where can we find you?
So my name's Paul. You can find me primarily on Twitter with Paul_Kiter. And sometime in the near future, I should have a contribution to an anthology of unique locations coming out. But that's still just a little bit away.
All right. And last, but certainly not least, what is going through Sai's mind?
Um, in his head right now, we're gonna investigate the shit out of these cows. We're gonna find out what's going on. It's gonna be some weird conspiracy, and I'm gonna write a novel, and then people will finally respect me.
Oh,
He honestly, at the core of him, he misses the city where he mattered, and he kind of hates it out here in the country. Um, I'm Noir Enigma. You can find me on all the socials as Noir Enigma. That's your Twitter, Instagram, and SoundCloud because I do the music stuff. Not so much lately, but I need to get better at that.
mhm.
Also on Twitch, I'm Noir Enigma 1. I'm gonna be doing some streaming of my own, some video games. We've got Far Cry and Dragon Age Inquisition in the
It's a
chamber.
very good game.
I'm mainly been playing Far Cry 5 because it gives me the chance to mow down religious nut jobs. So I truly enjoy that. Not saying that it's making me think of anything in particular right now, but yeah, it's just
Must be. Oh,
very
wonder.
stress relieving.
I don't know what brought that on.
I know that's kind of crazy.
It's weird.
As for streams, I've got a few, so just bear with me here for a second. Tuesday I'll be on TPK roleplay, doing a Harper's game. On Wednesday we've got the Curse of Strahd game over at 1 HP Hero. On Thursday I have Lost Tales of Uzoya on Valkyrin's channel and Perilous Sun on Chromatic Chimera. And soon there'll be another one Entangled on Unmade Gaming. My Thursdays are very busy. Friday, I have nothing. On Saturday mornings, I have Morning Ritual over on Critical Misses. And then Sundays, it's right back here for Clockwork Live, where we're going to find a giant chipmunk and shoot it in the head.
Not if I can help it.
I'm gonna shoot that goddamn chipmunk in the head.
He survives
My
Thursday
Bible.
just to be harassed by me on Sunday.
Good gracious. All right, and everyone, I'm Honey, aka Honey and Dice. I have been your keeper for the evening. I run games, I play games, but I'm mainly everyone's biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
And I'm so very happy that you tuned in to watch all these amazing people play these amazing characters. As always, remember to love your you. And if that's hard today, that's okay, because it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to be okay. Regardless, if you're having a difficult time today, remember that I love you.
Oh, absolutely.
Guy slacking.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry.
He was
Hell.
plugging his own self. That's why.
Oh, I need to look at the list. I'm so sorry. I'm not great at this. So give me just 1 second. Oh my god, I'm the fucking worst.
Hold, please, as we go through the discussion of our sponsors.
Well, now.
And now for a message from our sponsors.
Ooh, good voice, Velvet.
Thank you. So just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. We've got Oh my god, I had it all written down, but I can't.
War.
Oh, so her Roll20 spotlight, tabletop loot and tabletop loot and heartbeat dice. So just want to give them a shout out for supporting us and thank you very much for sticking with me while I fumbled through this basic thing that I was supposed to do that I completely spaced on.
Less happy, man.
Alright, let's try this again. Have a good one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you all.